I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney. So out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour.
Thank you, Britney, for coming forward. God bless you for your courage. She made 3 points in this beginning. One, that she was a slave. She was forced to do this tour. She had no choice. Number 2, a lawyer came and forced her to sign a paper. She doesn't even know what the paper is. All of this is by force. Okay. And third, she was kept helpless. She couldn't get her own attorney under the conservatorship, or she would be violating the conservatorship. Like Britney, okay, and I'm no Britney Spears, but like Britney, I am one of many hundreds of thousands of people enslaved under a conservatorship. When I worked at the NIH in 1993, I had an offer to work for the greatest director, Shem Steinberg, at 3 times my current salary. He even left me a first-class plane ticket at the airport. I made a movie with the local Prince Georgians on camera. I was from Maryland, and I had a whole lot of offers from that, and they ruined all that. I'd never flown on a plane. Of course, I quit my job. And so my father and his criminal gang, my father was a policeman, came every day at gunpoint, kidnapped me out of my house, physically came and kidnapped me out of my house. First, they would rape me, then they would beat me, then they would try to shoot me, then they would laugh, and then they would kidnap me out of my house and take me back to the job that I quit. And then they would have at least one person with a gun stand there all day for 2 weeks, making sure I couldn't escape. Next, Britney was forced to sign a paper. I've been forced to sign papers against my will without even knowing what they are my whole life, beginning when I was like 12. The first time they put me in a room, they stripped me naked, they had a gun, a knife, a dog, they raped me, they beat me, they heated up a poker in our fireplace. Yeah, we had a fireplace, and they burned my face with it, and then they made me sign. I didn't know what I was signing. I didn't know why I was signing. They wouldn't show me or tell me anything. I've signed 6 or 7 times papers at gunpoint. Always I sign at gunpoint. Always there's rape, there's beating, there's threats of murder and arrest. Why? Because my father's a cop. Okay, and all the people in his gang are police. And so the last time I signed was April 2000 in Warsaw, Poland. We're Polish, my father controlled this trust that was given to me as an education trust. He controlled it until his death. He died in April 2000. He was buried in Warsaw, Poland. So I went over there to honor my father, and they grabbed me, and they beat me. They hired 3 Syrian refugees who were living on the streets in Paris. I didn't even know about the Syrian refugees until that point. And they hired them to kill me. And they followed me all over Europe trying to kill me. They had big knives. Anyway, and the time before that, it was at my wedding reception in 1997, at gunpoint, on camera, in front of 200 witnesses. How come they weren't arrested? How come I couldn't press any charges? My father's a cop. Okay, so there, I was also completely enslaved by this money. I still am enslaved by this money, and I can't get away from these people.
When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I'd been doing Vegas for 4 years and I needed a break in between. But no, I was told this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 to 4 days a week. Half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in a Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show with my whereabouts, where I preferred to rehearse and actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of video with me at rehearsals. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals and I never agreed to take my medication, which my medication is only taken in the mornings, never at rehearsal. They don't even see me. So why are they even claiming that? When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals, it was as if I planted a huge bomb. somewhere. And I said, no, I don't want to do it this way. After that, my management and my dancers and my assistant of the new people that were supposed to do the new show all went into a room, shut the door, and didn't come out for at least 45 minutes. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move. I was told by my, at the time, therapist, Dr. Benson, who died, that my manager called him in that moment and told him I wasn't cooperating or following the guidelines in rehearsals. And he also said I wasn't taking my medication, which is so dumb because I've had the same lady every morning for the past 8 years give me my same medication, and I'm nowhere near these stupid people. It made no sense at all. There was a week period where they were nice to me and they said, I don't want to do, and I told them I don't want to do the, they were nice to me. They said, if I don't want to do the new Vegas show, I don't have to, because I was getting really nervous. I said, I can wait. It was like, they told me I could wait. It was like lifting literally 200 pounds off of me when they said I don't have to do the show anymore, because I was really, really hard on myself and it was too much. I couldn't take it anymore. So I remember telling my assistant, but you know what? I feel weird if I say no. I feel like they're going to come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was a false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad. Really.
There's so much abuse in this short passage, it's hard to unpack it. So I'm just going to focus on two things. These idiots went to war with Britney Spears over a single dance move. There are hundreds of dance moves in that one choreography that Britney is creating. Britney is the choreographer, a brilliant, she's absolutely a genius. She's a world-class genius in this stuff. Who's opposing her? Like, no, you have to do that one dance move in the midst of 1,000 dance moves. Her father, the house painter, and her mother, the housewife. Oh yeah, they know so much better what Britney should be doing in her choreography than her. Okay, and they simply can't do it. The next thing is they turned everyone against her. Okay, all of the key people working with Britney that she's working with to create this choreography went into that room for 45 minutes and conspired against her. Okay, basically everyone that Britney is interacting with in her life, she can't trust them. Literally everyone. And that's what they did to me. Literally everyone in my life took this money and was setting me up and working for my father and the police gang and the murderers. Okay, my father took this money, my mother took this money, my brother took this money, my sister took this money. My father, he became the greatest serial killer in American history, and I believe in human history with this money. He was trafficking arms. He was laundering money. He became a super mob boss. That was his thing. My brother became the greatest serial killer ever. My sister got 2 master's degrees and a doctorate. My nieces and my nephews, they took this money. All of my relatives worldwide took this money. All of my bosses at all the jobs I ever had took this money. My boss, I have to be able to trust this person. He's taking this money. All of the bosses, all of the union people. Who do you turn to when you have trouble at work? You go to the union. All the union people took this money. All of my friends, all of my girlfriends, everyone in my life was smiling to my face and stabbing me in the back. I don't think you can understand the power of that level of betrayal. And that is what they were doing to Britney. And that is what they're doing to me. It's absolutely satanic.
About anything. I told them I was scared, and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes, and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month.
They kept Britney drugged, and she was under their physical control. 6 nurses keeping an eye on her at all times. What if she makes a call? What if she couldn't leave the house? Okay, physical control. For me, there were 3 people at my last job who kept me under physical control. That's my boss, that's the chief of security who carried a gun, and that's this other guy, D, 6'2", 300 pounds. He carried a gun. He was FPS, Federal Protective Services, and they watched me at all times. If I made a phone call they didn't like, they would come up with their guns and attack me. If I tried to leave the building, if I tried to go to lunch, if I tried to do anything they didn't like, they would physically, violently assault me. That's what they're doing to Britney. I retired in January 2011. They took me hostage for 6 months in College Park, Maryland. And I couldn't get my car out. I was in college, so I wasn't in college. The people around me were all in college. It was right off the College Park campus. So they gave all of them scholarships. And so I was watched 24 hours a day. And I couldn't make a move. I couldn't get my car out. Finally, I took my bike and I got as far as Route 1. I was about 2-3 miles away. I was trying to get somewhere. And Gigi Treson and a local uniformed cop in a uniformed police car, they ran me over on my bike in the police car, crunched my bike under the police car, picked me up, threw me in the back of the police car, threatened to shoot me, threatened to arrest me.
Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. And my dad only, he acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it. My whole family did nothing. Over the 2-week holiday, a lady came into my home for 4 hours a day, sat me down and did a psych test on me. It took forever. But I was told I had to then, after that I got off, I was told I had to then, after I got a phone call from my dad saying, after I did the psych test with this lady, basically saying I had failed the test or whatever. I'm sorry, Britney, you have to listen to your doctors. They are planning to send you to a small home in Beverly Hills to do a small rehab program that we're going to make up for you. You're going to pay $60,000 a month for this. I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, as he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%, he loved it. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking, making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport card, and placing them in a home where they work with the people who live with them. They all lived in the house with me, the nurses, the 24/7 security. There was one chef that came there and cooked for me daily during the weekdays. They watched me changed every day, naked, morning, noon, and night. My body, I had no privacy door for my room. I gave 8 gallons of blood a week.
That's rape. Forcing Britney to change in front of them every day and never having any privacy. That's very powerful because that's trauma. I'm a man. I've been raped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I'm not even sure how many times I've been raped. Every time I've been raped at gunpoint. Okay. Very often on camera, always with multiple people involved. Gigi never rapes me alone. There's always uniformed officers there with their guns drawn while I'm raped. But basically what happens under a rape is the trauma. It takes time for you to recover from the trauma of the violation. And by as long as they keep re-traumatizing you before you can recover, you just get stuck in trauma and you can't do anything but survive. And that's what they were doing to me, and that's what they're doing to Britney.
If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. I never had a say in my schedule. They always told me I had to do this. And ma'am, I will tell you, sitting in a chair 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, it ain't fun. And especially when you can't walk out the front door. And that's why I'm telling you this again 2 years later. After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought maybe I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day in the...
Britney's being the good girl. And she figured if she just tried hard enough, eventually they would love her and let her out of this. It's not true. Okay. I did the same thing. I got straight A's in school. I'm very successful. I achieved a lot. I could have been a lot more successful. But you just come to realize that literally there's nothing I or Britney or anybody can do that they will ever let you out of the trap. They will never let me out of the trap, and I have to put them in jail, and there's just no other way.
The reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail. Their cool tactics working for Miley Cyrus as she smokes on joints and stage at the VMAs. Nothing is ever done to this generation for doing wrong things. But my precious body, who's worked for my dad for the past fucking 13 years, trying to be so good and pretty, so perfect when he works me so hard, when I do everything I'm told in the state of California, allowed my ignorant father to take his own daughter, who only has a role with me if I work with him. They set back the whole course and allowed him to do that to me. That's giving these people I've worked for way too much control. They also threatened me and said if I don't go, then I have to go to court. And it will be more embarrassing me if the judge publicly makes you go, the evidence we have, you have to go. I was advised for my image, I need to go ahead and just go and get it over with. They said that to me. I don't even drink alcohol. I should drink alcohol, considering what they put my heart through.
They want to send Britney to rehab for alcohol abuse, and she doesn't drink. Okay, I don't drink either. Why? Because it's too dangerous. My father was a raging alcoholic. I'm Polish. The Polish drink like the Irish. It's crazy, and they only drink vodka. Nastavny picnic pan po raz pierwszy. Always just vodka. I had three choices. I could be dead, in jail, or insane. Those are the only three choices I had in life. Now, my family has no use for me alive. They want me dead. They've tried to kill me. I have more armed attempts on my life than any living human, in my opinion. And I think there is an angel protecting me, or angels protecting me, because otherwise it's just impossible. I don't have 9 lives. I have 900,000 lives. I should have been dead a million times. Britney, on the other hand, she's lucky. She's the golden goose, and they need to keep her alive to keep the money flowing. Whereas me, they've got all my money, they've got the trust, and I'm a liability, and they want me dead. But I won't drink, I won't take drugs, nothing, because it's too dangerous. If I have one moment, one lapse, one moment where I'm not able to defend myself, I'm dead. I could be dead. So I have stayed away from alcohol and drugs my whole life. And she makes the comparison with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, it feels comfortable enough that she can get high. Okay, it's not possible for me or someone like Britney, because you can't have a momentary lapse, because they can take advantage of you and you could be dead.
Also, the Bridges facility they sent me to, none of the kids, I was doing this program for 4 months. So the last 2 months I went to a Bridges facility. None of the kids there did the program. They never showed up for any of them. You didn't have to do anything if you didn't want to. How come they always made me go? How come I was always threatened by my dad and anybody that participated in this conservatorship? If I don't do this, what they tell me to enslave me to do, they're going to punish me. The last time I spoke to you by just keeping the conservatorship going and also keeping my dad in the loop made me feel like I was dead. Like I didn't matter. Like nothing had been done to me. Like you thought I was lying or something. I'm telling you again because I'm not lying. I want to feel heard. And I'm telling you this again so maybe you can understand the depth and the degree and the damage that they did to me back then.
Oh, Britney's just crazy. She's lying. Everybody saw her meltdown, and that's what they say about me. And the people doing this to me are cops. They just say, oh, he's crazy. He's mentally ill. There's absolutely no evidence that I'm mentally ill, and all of the evidence says that I'm not. And the same, they have Britney on camera. They have Britney having a meltdown. I never even had a meltdown. And they just pretend that you're crazy, and they live in a liar world. And that's how they do it.
I want changes, and I want changes going forward. I deserve changes. I was told I have to sit down and be evaluated again. If I want to end the conservatorship, ma'am, I didn't know I could petition the conservatorship to end it. I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I honestly didn't know that. But honestly, but I don't think I owe anyone to be evaluated. I've done more than enough. I don't feel like I should even be in a room with anyone to offend me by trying to question my capacity of intelligence, whether I need to be in this stupid conservatorship or not. I've done more than enough. I don't owe these people anything, especially me, the one that has roofed and fed tons of people on tour on the road. It's embarrassing and demoralizing what I've been through. And that's the main reason. I've never said it openly.
Britney is done. She's not going to play their stupid games anymore. There's no point in talking to these people because they just lie. Okay? Same with me. Dig up the bodies, follow the money. There's nothing else to talk about. There are bodies in the ground.
And mainly, I didn't want to say it openly because I honestly didn't think anyone would believe me. To be honest with you, the Paris Hilton story on what they did to her to that school, I didn't believe any of it. I'm sorry. I'm an outsider, and I'll just be honest. I didn't believe it. And maybe I'm wrong. And that's why I didn't want to say any of this to anybody, to the public, because I thought people would make fun of me or laugh at me and say, she's lying. She's got everything. She's Britney Spears. I'm not lying. I just want my life back. And it's been 13 years and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money, and it's my wish and my dream for all of this to end without being tested. Again, it makes no sense whatsoever for the state of California to sit back and literally watch me with their own two eyes make a living for so many people and pay so many people trucks and buses on tour on the road with me and be told I'm not good enough.
Is there anything Britney can do to convince them that she's well? No. Is there anything I can do to convince these people that they should give me my money back? No. It has to be taken from them by force, just the same way they took it from me by force. It's just a game and they're criminals.
But I'm great at what I do, and I allow these people to control what I do, ma'am, and it's enough. It makes no sense at all. Now, going forward, I'm not willing to meet or see anyone I've met with enough people against my will. I'm done. All I want is to own my money for this to end and my boyfriend to drive me in his fucking car. And I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you.
Britney just wants to sue her family. I want to put my family in jail. My family they're serial killers and they're thieves and money launderers and just straight up criminals. All the primary people who are involved in these crimes, I want them to face the death penalty.
I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me by making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me. And by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know today we're doing. So thank you. Instead of having an interview, honestly, I need that to get it off my heart, the anger and all of it that's been happening. It's not fair they're telling me lies about me openly. Even my family, they do interviews to anyone they want on news stations, my own family doing interviews and talking about the situation and making me feel so stupid. And I can't say one thing.
Britney's family is constantly defaming her. And that's how it works. She's crazy. She's terrible. She's awful. And Britney can't defend herself. That's what my family did to me. That's what they're doing to me. Okay. Anybody who tried to help me was arrested for felony sexual assault on me. And then most of them were killed. But just over 100 people were arrested for felony sexual assault on me and then told that I did that to them. I was a small child. I didn't do any of this. And even so many people I don't know, a lunch lady, so many people, teachers, all the neighbors, my grandmother, my aunt, just everybody was arrested for sexually assaulting me, which made everyone hate me. And then they would flip it around and offer them free money. Okay, but everybody hates me.
And my own people say I can't say anything. It's been 2 years. I want a recorded call to you. Actually, we're doing this now, which I didn't know that we were doing this. To the public, say knows what they did to me. I told I know my lawyer Sam has been very scared for me to go forward because he's saying if I speak up, I'm being overworked in that facility of that rehab place. The rehab place will sue me. He told me I should keep it to myself. Really, I would personally like to. Actually, I know I've had grown with a personal relationship with Sam, my lawyer. I've been talking to him like 3 times a week now. We've kind of built a relationship, but I haven't really had the opportunity by my own self to actually handpick my own lawyer by myself.
Is it just me, or do you think Sam, the lawyer, is not on her side either? She can't choose her own lawyer. This is a lawyer chosen for her by the conservatorship. Oh my gosh. They did this to me. Everyone in my life, they turned them. They were all double agents. They were all taking the money. All my girlfriends, all my best friends, the guys I was playing golf with, they all took the money, went and got master's degrees and gave it to all their nieces and nephews and setting me up, setting me up, setting me up. Wow.
And I would like to be able to do that. I would like to also, the main reason why I'm here is because I want to end the conservatorship without having to be evaluated. I've done a lot of research, ma'am, and there's a lot of judges who do end conservatorships for people without them having to be evaluated all the time. The only times they don't is if a concerned family member says something's wrong with this person and consider otherwise. And considering my family has lived off my conservatorship for 13 years, I won't be surprised if one of them has something to say and go forward and say, we don't think this should end. We have to help her, especially if I get my fair served in turning exposing what they did to me. Also, I want to speak to you about, at the moment, my obligations, which I personally don't think at the very moment I owe anybody anything. I have 3 meetings a week I have to attend no matter what. I just don't like feeling like I work for the people whom I pay. I don't like being told I have to, no matter what, even if I'm sick. Jody, the conservator, says I have to see my coach Ken even when I'm sick. I would like to do 1 meeting a week with a therapist. I've never, even before they sent me to that place, had 2 therapy sessions. A therapy session and 1 therapy session with I have a doctor and then a therapy person. What I've been forced to do illegal in my life, I shouldn't be told I have to be available 3 times a week to these people I don't know. I'm talking to you today because I feel, again, yes, even Jody is starting to kind of take it too far with me. They have me going to therapy twice a week and a psychiatrist. I've never in the past they have me going, twice a week and Dr. Gold, so that's 3 times a week. I've never in the past had to see a therapist more than once a week. It takes too much out of me going to this man I don't know. Number 1, I'm scared of people. I don't trust people with what I've been through. And the clever setup of being in Westlake, one of the most exposed places in Westlake, which yesterday, paparazzi showed me coming out of the place literally crying in therapy. It's embarrassing and it's demoralizing. I deserve privacy when I go. I deserve privacy when I go and have therapy, either at my home, like I've done for 8 years. They've always come to my home. Or when the Dr. Benson, the man that died, I went to a place similar to what I went to in Westlake, which was very exposed and really bad.
It's a lifelong slander campaign. They have to keep you weak. They're constantly attacking you. They will never say that you did it right, no matter how accomplished you are. Britney is so accomplished, and all these people doing this to her are absolute losers. The same for me. I am so much smarter and more accomplished than any of the people doing this to me. It's just a continuous, endless slander campaign.
Okay, so wait, where was I? In Westlake, it was identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, yes, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me too. And to be totally honest with you, I have been through, and the clever setup in Westlake is identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, yes, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me. And to be totally honest with you, when he passed away, I got on my knees and thanked God. In other words, my team is pushing it with me again. I have trapped phobias being in small rooms because the trauma locking me up for 4 months in that place. Is not okay for them to send me, I'm going fast, to that small room like that twice a week with another new therapist I pay that I never even approved. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. And I haven't done anything wrong to deserve this treatment. It's not okay to force me to do anything I don't want to do. By law, by law, Jody and this so-called team should honestly, I should be able to sue them for threatening me and saying, if I don't go and do these meetings twice a week, we can't let you have your money and go to Maui on your vacations. You have to do what you're told for this program, and then you will be able to go. But it was very clever. They picked one of the most exposed places in Westlake, knowing I have the hot topic of the conservatorship, that over 5 paparazzis are going to show up and get me crying coming out of that place. I begged them to make sure that they did this at my home so I would have privacy. I deserve privacy. The whole conservatorship from the beginning, once the conservatorship from the beginning, once you see someone, whoever it is in the conservatorship, making them money and myself money and working, that whole statement right there, the conservatorship should end. There should be I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money and work for myself and pay other people. It makes no sense. The laws need to change. What state allows people to own another person's money and account and threaten them and saying, you can't spend your money unless you do what we want you to do, and I'm paying them?
Britney as well. Britney is healthier than the people doing this to her. As for me, how can they do this to me? I've never been committed for anything. I've never shown any evidence of psychotic behavior, or I've never been committed to any institution, anything. How can they do this to me? Well, they're just going to say, "Oh, well, you have to request that it be destroyed, the conservatorship." Well, I had a lawyer asking. I know who is running this conservatorship. I had a lawyer approach him and send him a legal demand letter, and now they just simply deny that any of this exists. They're just pretending it doesn't exist because the crimes are so massive. Well, there is a solution. There are bodies in the ground. Dig them up.
Ma'am, I've worked since I was 17 years old. You have to understand how thin that is for me. Every morning I get up to know I can't go on somewhere unless I meet people I don't know every week in an office identical to the one where the therapist was very abusive to me. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. And now we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. I don't owe them to go see a man I don't know and share him my problems. I don't even believe in therapy. I always think you take it to God. I want to end the conservatorship without it being evaluated. In the meantime, I want this therapist once a week. He can either come to my home. No, I just want him to come to my home. I'm not willing to go to Westlake and be embarrassed by all these paparazzi, these scummy paparazzi laughing at my faces while I'm crying, coming out and taking my pictures as all these white, nice dinners where people drinking wine at restaurants, watching me leave these places. They set me up by sending me to the most exposed places, and I told them I didn't want to go there because I knew paparazzi would show up there. They only gave me 2 options for therapists, and I'm not sure how you make your decisions, ma'am, but this is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help. So if you can just kind of let me know where your head is. I don't really honestly know what to say, but my requests are just to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. I want a petition basically to end the conservatorship, but I want it to be petition to end it, but I don't want to be evaluated and be sat in a room with people 4 hours a day like they did me before. And they made it even worse for me after that happened. So I'm honestly new at this, and I'm doing research on all these things. I do know common sense and the method that things can end. For people, it has ended without them being evaluated. So I just want you to take that in consideration. I've also done research. Also took a year during COVID to get me any self-care methods during COVID. She said there were no services available. She's lying, ma'am. My mom went to the spa twice in Louisiana during COVID. For a year, I didn't have my nails done, no hairstyling and no massages, no acupuncture, nothing for a year. I saw the maids in my home each week with their nails done different each time. She made me feel like my dad does, very similar, her behavior and my dad, but just a different dynamic. Team wants me to work and stay home instead of having longer vacations. They are used to me sort of doing a weekly routine for them, and I'm over it. I don't feel like I owe them anything at this point. They need to be reminded they actually work for me. They tricked me by sending me to the Okay, I repeated myself there. Also, I was supposed to be able to. I have a friend that I used to do AA meetings with. I did AA for 2 years. I have I did 3 meetings a week. I met a bunch of women there, and I'm not able to see my friends that live 8 minutes away from me, which I find extremely strange. I feel like they're making me feel like I live in a rehab program. This is my home. I'd like for my boyfriend to be able to drive me in his car. And I want to meet with a therapist once a week, not twice a week. And I want him to come to my home because I actually know I do need a little therapy. I was told, hold on. I think and I would like to progressively move forward, and I want to have the real deal. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship, I'm not able to get married or have a baby. I have a ID inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the ID out so I could start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children.
They won't let Britney have another child. Britney's 39. This is her last chance to have a child. They won't let her get married. They've got her implanted with a permanent IUD, which keeps her from getting pregnant, permanently. Wow. If that's not too invasive, I don't know what is. She's not a danger to society. How dare they do this? Personally, if I get this money, I will have a family. That's what I will choose to do. That's the first thing I'll do.
So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have a 2 to 3 year break and just, do what I want to do.
Britney wants to take a 2 to 3 year break. I can definitely relate. I'm retired. I've been retired 10 years. I'm now 56. I retired at 46. I was exhausted. I had cancer. In 2015, I had complete back failure. Now I'm pumping iron and getting ripped and running several times a week. I just ran this morning. You get tired of these people attacking and attacking and attacking you, and you need time off. They are running her ragged. They were running me ragged, and you just get exhausted or you break down. And I don't know if I told you that when I filed my retirement, I had just a flood of people, including Shem Steinberg and his disgusting family and a whole bunch of federal agents and local cops and lawyers. And they grilled me for 5.5 hours to stop me from retiring because they were losing control of me. They want to keep control of me at all times, everywhere I am. And after I retired, for 5 years, they attacked me constantly, trying to kill me. And so for the last 5 years, they've stopped trying to kill me all the time because I've been complaining, and outing them.
But I do feel like there is a crunch here, and I feel like I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it, but I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, I hear all these no's, no, no, no. And then all of a sudden I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. And that's all I wanted to say to you. And thank you so much for letting me speak to you today.
Ganged up and bullied. Everyone in Britney's world is a double agent and working against her. Literally everyone. And when I saw her meltdown the first time, that's what I thought. There's no one in her life that she can trust. And it's true, obviously. Same for me. It's the whole world against me. I'll call my brother and I'll talk to him and he'll act nice and he'll say, "Oh, I love you, Joseph." It's such bullshit. Okay. No one is on my side. They're all working against me. And I know when I speak to my brother, he's spoken to 100 other people, and all together they're conspiring. And those are the words that I hear out of his mouth. It's not fair. It's me against the whole world. Free Britney and free Joseph Magellan.